Good evening, and welcome to Burnsville Park and National Resource Commission meeting for Wednesday, January 3rd, 2018. Our first item for business is to approve our agenda, but before we do that, in our package, I will be switching number 5 and number 6. Number 5 is the election of chair and vice chair, and number 6 is review park capital improvement project plan for 2018. So it'll be 5 and 6 will be flipped.
I move we accept the agenda as amended.
Before I do that, I want staff, do you want any items to
Nope,
add?
nothing from staff.
Commissioners, do you want to add any items at this time? I would like to have a motion to approve the agenda
As amended?
as amended. Thank
So
you.
move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And so we moved. The second item of the is citizens' comments. Seeing none, we'll move to number 3, approval of minutes for November 20th, 2017 meeting. Commissioners, any revision to the minutes for that meeting, which is in your package? Hearing none. Staff?
Nothing from staff.
Okay. Would like to have a motion to approve the minutes of meeting minutes for November 20th, 2017.
Motion approved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
And so we moved. Next item for our meeting is,
Chair Roof?
Yes.
We have two minutes that we need approval on. We had a
I'm
work
sorry.
session in December.
also we need to
We need to
do,
approve both of those.
okay, I'm sorry.
Thank
Thank you. I was under the impression that we only do the regular meetings, but,
Thank you.
okay. We go back, we want to do the same thing for approval of minutes for December 4th, 2017 work session.
Motion approved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? And so we move. Thank you, JJ. Appreciate it. We're going to move to number 4, approve PNRC work plan for 2018-2019. And presenting will be JJ Ryan, Recreation and Facility Superintendent.
Good evening, Commissioners. Tonight is just kind of a quick review of the work plan that we discussed at that December work session meeting. I want to make sure that I captured all of your thoughts and comments here. And then, again, we'll be moving this work plan forward to a council meeting in late February for their approval of it as well. So, with that, as you know, we have 6 items that are annual activities. These are items that we take a look at and review and discuss annually throughout the year. Nothing has changed here. These items have been before us a number of times, and these are the 6 things that we do on a regular ongoing basis. If anybody would like me to go through those items now, we can, but again, we've looked at this quite a bit. Okay? This is where most of our discussion came from, or was centered around at that December meeting, the special projects that we have on an annual basis. And so I'd like to go through these again, just to make sure that we've captured all of your thoughts and comments on them. Review the landscape plans for Bicentennial Gardens. This is a carry forward from last year. This is a project that's been 2 years in the making now, and we still have to complete the landscaping work out there. We also have a citizen committee that is involved in reviewing those plans as well, and a former Commissioner Len Nachman on that committee as well. One of the things that you added last year was to add a park appreciation event to the list of events during I Love Burnsville Week. What we do this year is yet to be determined. We have some ideas, but we still want this item listed out here, and we can still change the activity that we actually decide on, but we want to make sure that it's noted here. The Terrace Oaks Master Plan should be coming before us this year with any changes that they might have, so we'll take a look at that. This year we have plans to renovate the tennis courts over at Red Oak Park into pickleball courts and some other work over there with lighting. And so we'll be taking a look at those plans as well. Final design and plans for the Rose Bluff Trail will be coming before you. And then review of the archery range design. Hopefully that one will be coming to you next month at our February 5th meeting. We're going to review concept plans for a nature play area. This is an item that was identified in the park's master plan that just came out. So our director, Garrett Beck, has some ideas and thoughts on a nature play area in one of our parks. We'll be taking a look at that, and again, hopefully in February, or our next meeting in February. Throughout the year, well, I'm sorry, I jumped ahead there. We're going to review the priorities on the survey that is currently being done of our frameworks plan and how we implement the Parks Master Plan or the activities and objectives in that Parks Master Plan. Currently, there's a survey available on the city's website, and I think all of you have probably gone out there and voted a couple times on how you'd like to see the Park CIP spend their money, but we'll take a look at that. And then a couple times throughout the year, we're going to take a look at the accomplishments and maybe set some milestones and talk about the things that we're doing in that Parks Master Plan and how we're accomplishing the goals that are set forward in there. You've also asked that maybe we can find a way to get involved with the International Festival of Burnsville. Currently, our staff liaison to that event is Julie Dorshak, and I know Maroof, you work on that committee as well.
Yep.
Our staff liaison, Julie, has said there's certainly some opportunities for this commission to get involved if they wish. So there'll be more to come on that as well. And then the Lake Marion Greenway Trail update. This is a segment from Kelleher Park to Sunset Pond. So we'll be taking a look at that project as well. With that, I believe those are the items that we discussed at our work session in December. If I've missed anything, if you'd like, now that you've had a chance, a month to think about things or change things, please let me know and we'll get those added to or updated to the work plan. Comments and questions?
Commissioners, any questions, comments? I think we have been through last time more. So we are requiring approval for the goals and work plan for 2018-2019.
That is correct.
That is correct. Okay, if no questions, are we good to make a motion to approve PNRC goals and work plan for 2018-2019?
So move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And so moved. Thank you.
Thank you,
JJ.
Commissioners. And again, we'll probably be discussing it in February, or I'll be reminding you again at our February meeting, but we will be taking that work plan to the City Council at their February 20th meeting. So the chairperson will bring that work plan forward, and all of you are welcome to attend as well.
Thank you. Next item is review park capital improvement project plan for 2018. And JJ, you will be presenting that as well?
Thank you, Chair Maroof. Again, Parks Capital Improvement Plan, this is an item that we review on an annual basis. And as you know, the city allocates funds every year for their parks and trails projects. And the purpose of this item is to update the commissioners on the park system capital improvement projects that are planned for 2018. In the first slide, we have 3 funding categories that help us identify the projects. We have general improvements, and this year we have $193,000 set aside in that area, and I'll go through that with you. We have renovation projects of $871,000, $608,000, and we have trail system development, $865,000 set aside for 2018. So, under the park improvement projects, general park amenities or basic park amenities, these are adding benches, adding bleachers, adding items to our park system. And each year we set aside about $20,000 or $25,000 to do that. Requests come up all the time. or we find a need somewhere in our park system, and so $20,000 is allocated there. The next one is Howell Crossing, and I've listed it here under the improvements. This should technically be under the trail development. This is $20,000 that's being set aside to investigate the trail section between Howell Park and Sunset Pond. And for some reason, it just got into the wrong category here, but again, this is in addition to the trail system. Sidewalk access to play equipment. A few years back, we completed an ADA study of our park system, and then also with the Parks Master Plan, we've identified a number of play areas that are great little play areas, but for somebody that has limited or restricted abilities, they can't get to the play equipment. So we've set aside some money here to improve access to those play areas. An example of that would be over at the Alamagnet Dog Park. As you know, we just finished redoing that entrance over there. But while we were doing that work, we noticed, or we identified the fact that the play area that sits right in front of that dog park, there's a curb cut on the play area, there's a curb cut in the parking lot, but there's no sidewalk to get anybody from the parking lot to the play area. So we've added that sidewalk now, making that accessible play area over there. And then the last one here is drainage issues at Neal Park. At Neal Park, we've had a lot of erosion issues near the sledding hill and towards the Neal Park softball field B. We've also had wood railroad tie steps going from the tennis court area down the hill to the softball field. Those have been there for more than 20 years. They're rotting out, they need repair, and there's $133,000 set aside in the park CIP to take care of some of those amenities. There's additional funding set aside in the stormwater fund to handle some of the other erosion issues there too. So those are your those are your park improvement projects that are scheduled for 2018. Under the park renovation projects, we've got again a category of general park amenities. These are the repair and replacement of picnic tables, benches, bleachers, things we have in the park system that are damaged or ruined or just wear out over the course of time. Borders. These are the boxes or the containers that go around the play areas, around the play equipment and keeping the wood fiber chips in place, things like that. This money here under the borders, $67,000. We've got two new parks, or two park systems where we're replacing the play equipment, and as we do that, we are updating the concrete borders around those areas. Fencing, this is carry forward from last year. We did not get to the Wolk Park fencing. This is the fencing for the baseball fields on fields 1 and 2. Again, just over time, those fences have taken a beating. They're rusting. They may not be completely safe anymore for the kids to be out there, other than the repairs that we've been doing on them. So it's time to replace the fencing that's out there. Lighting systems. Mentioned earlier the project at Red Oak Park to upgrade that tennis court area. We're also going to be upgrading the lighting system there as well. And we'll also be upgrading the lighting system or improving the lighting system on the south side of the Loch Levon softball complex, closest to County Road 46. Play equipment. This year we have plans to add or change out the play equipment at Cedar Bridge and Keller Lake Park. That's about $90,000. Resurface park trails, and again, I know that seems odd, seeing as how we have a trail category. This particular item, however, is the soft trail, the interior trail of the Alamagnet Dog Park. Again, over time, we've seen that there are some erosion issues and concerns over there, and our Park and Rec Director, Garrett Beck, and myself have been working with a gentleman that is in a wheelchair who uses the park frequently. He's taken us out to some parks in Bloomington to identify a better surface for the dog park, making it completely accessible for folks that are in wheelchairs. And so I believe that is the direction we are going to be going with that trail system over there. And it holds up very well to rain and snow and conditions like that that may cause that erosion. $61,000 is identified for that project. Signs, these are the new park signs that we've looked at the last couple of years. We are in the, I think, second or third year now of replacement. We've got $90,000 set aside, and right now we're focusing on our community parks, and as we start chipping away at the 76 parks in our system to replace those signs. So we'll be working on our community park signs for this next year. Tennis courts, $184,500. This again is the Red Oak plan to create a more user-friendly pickleball area, and hopefully that will be a huge success with the way the pickleball has really taken off in the area. And then I believe landscaping is, I have Bicentennial Garden Fountain, but that's under the improvement plan, so I apologize for the landscaping note there. As we move forward to our third area, the trail system project, we've talked about these areas. The final design for the Lake Marion Regional Trailhead, Kelleher Park Trail, and then the Rose Bluff Trail, the final design and construction. We've got $680,000 set aside for the Rose Bluff Trail and $185,000 set aside for the trailhead project. So, Commissioners, those are the items that are scheduled for 2018. It sounds like a lot of work. Some of it is, some of it, however, will be coming back to you for an additional review. The landscape plans for the Bicentennial Garden Project, after they meet with the Citizen Committee, those plans will also be reviewed by this group. The Red Oak Park pickleball courts will be coming back to you. The Rose Bluff Trail final design will be coming back to you. And although it's not listed in the park CIP, the archery range design and project will be coming back to you. The archery range, the sale of the current park land went through just the other day. So we weren't prepared at budget time back in July to put in funding for an archery range build in 2018. But the sale of the current archery range has gone through. Those funds will be used to build the new one over by Kramer Nature Preserve. So with that, questions and comments?
Commissioners, questions?
Mr. Ullery.
All right.
I guess a question. And I know that the signs have come up and I think as a committee, we approved the design of the signs, or we were part of it. But I guess I'm just gonna share some comments that my neighbor, we have one of the new signs down at the Crystal Lake boat dock or boat ramp, and they said they thought they were ugly. And I know we're probably too far down the line. I mean, you want consistency of the sign, so I wouldn't expect, any changes. I know originally, and it was due to cost, there was a header above it, and that was left off. And I think that's kind of, it takes away from the sign, I guess, if you will. So all I'm doing is sharing this comment from one of my neighbors. I think it looks great, but and I don't know if you've heard any feedback from others.
Commissioner Ullery, at this point, I have not heard any feedback from others at this point on the signs, but that certainly is worth noting. And yes, you are correct, and I wish I could recall the dollar amount.
It was several
that
$1,000s.
header cost. It was several $1,000s, and this commission, as well as other citizen committees that took a look at that and then weighed the cost with the value and what you get for bang for your buck, everybody pretty much seemed to say, boy, it'd be great but it certainly isn't worth the dollar to do that, so.
Okay. Not, I have two questions if everybody is good. Number one, for our benches, I think we have talked about it. Do we also get folks who can donate or also give benches or does that? So are we counting this in this or this is additional to what, my assumption is this is additional to whatever the citizens are donating or I'm trying to find the word that they,
Memorials.
memorials to, thank you.
Sure. Commissioner Roof, that is correct. This is an above and beyond, and that $20,000 may not buy a bench this year at all. But
Correct.
From time to time, we find that there's a request for an additional bench around a certain walking trail, Sunset Pond, something like that, that nobody has come forward and asked to put a bench there in memorial of a loved one, but they still feel the need that it would be an asset to our park system to have a bench at a certain location somewhere in our park system. So yes, this is above and beyond that.
Okay.
And the memorial bench program is actually run through the Burnsville Foundation.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
Yep.
Just want to make sure that our people who are just watching also know that we have another program,
Yes.
and then this is all additional to that.
Correct.
The second one is signs for 90,000. Do you know roughly how many signs we are planning to?
I think that should get us 10 signs
10, okay.
for the year. And that also includes the landscaping that takes place
Around
around
that.
that sign as well,
Okay.
so.
That's it. That's all the questions I have. Go ahead, please.
So I noticed in the general amenities, you have the refuse receptacles. Is that in addition to the recycling program that is planning on being started this year, I'm assuming?
That would be an addition.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, are we good from commissioners?
Commissioners, if those are all the questions you have, I am looking for a motion in support of park staff continuing on and implementing the 2018 Parks Capital Improvement Plan for the year.
Okay, I would like to have a motion to approve or motion to support, right? Or moving.
Motion to support.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
So moves. Thank you. Thanks, JJ, for giving us the information. So number 6 is election for chair and vice chair for 2018. JJ, how do we like to proceed?
Commissioners, at this time, I did not receive any nominations prior to tonight's meeting. So we are open to accepting nominations right now. If there are if there is more than one nomination for one of the positions, we will have a vote, a fancy vote by scrap paper. So commissioners, at this point, I am open to hearing your nominations.
I will nominate Commissioner Ralph.
As chair?
Chair.
And I'll go ahead and nominate Sarah as vice chair.
Are there any other nominations, commissioners? Seeing no other nominations, I would entertain a motion moving Commissioner Raouf as chair for 2018 and Commissioner Kiefer as vice chair for 2018.
So moved.
So we,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So it's moved. Thank you. So the last part of our agenda for today is miscellaneous. Staff, do we have anything that you'd like to cover in miscellaneous?
Commissioners, the only item I'd like to point out right now is that we have our next meeting on February 5th, and we'll be back here in the chambers here. And I hope at that time I will have our full list of agenda items laid out for you for the year, so you'll know when things are gonna fall on the calendar and can plan accordingly.
Thank you. That brings us to the end of our formal meeting of this agenda. Commissioner, would you like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion adjourned.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So it's moved. Thank you very much. Good evening, and thank you for watching Burnsville Park and Natural Resource Commission meeting.